Ask 100 people what they want most, and almost all of them will give you the same answer. I just want to be happy. Not richer, not more famous, not more attractive, not more successful. Happy. And yet, we are living in a world that has more convenience than any generation before us. More entertainment, more technology, more comfort, more opportunity. Yet somehow so many people feel empty because happiness is one of the most misunderstood ideas in modern life. Most people don't pursue happiness. They pursue the things they believe will eventually make them happy. And there's a difference. I'll be happy when I make more money. I'll be happy when I find the right relationship. I'll be happy when I lose the weight, when I get the promotion, when people finally appreciate me. So life becomes one endless postponement. Happiness is always waiting on tomorrow, but tomorrow keeps moving. And one day people wake up 10, 20, 30 years later, still waiting for permission to enjoy their own lives. Happiness is not something you discover. It is something you practice. It is built through your habits, your thoughts, your relationships, your perspective, your boundaries, your choices. Because two people can live the exact same life and experience it completely differently. One notices what is missing. The other notices what remains. One waits to be rescued. The other learns to create meaning. One spends life chasing happiness. The other becomes the kind of person who naturally experiences it. So now we're going to explore 10 truths that quietly shape a joyful life. Not because they remove suffering, nothing can do that, but because they change the way you meet it. And this is what a happy life has always been. Not a life without problems, but a life where your peace is no longer held hostage by them. Most people spend their entire lives looking for happiness. Very few people ever stop to ask a better question. What if happiness isn't something I find, but someone I become? Because happiness is not an event, it is an identity. And every identity is built through repeated choices. Number 1, stop waiting for life to begin. One day I'll finally be happy when I lose the weight, when I find a relationship, when I make more money, when I move to another country, when my family understands me, when life finally becomes easier. Listen carefully. If happiness always lives in your future, you will never experience it in your present. Because every time you reach the next goal, your mind creates another one. The promotion becomes the bigger promotion. The first million becomes the second. The apartment becomes the house. The relationship becomes the marriage. The marriage becomes the children. The children become their success. The finish line keeps moving. There is nothing wrong with ambition. But when ambition becomes a condition for happiness, you sentence yourself to a lifetime of emotional postponement. Learn to enjoy the climb. Because life is not waiting for you at the top. Life is happening right now. Number 2, protect your peace more than your image. One of the biggest reasons and biggest sources of unhappiness is people living for an audience. They wear the clothes other people will admire. They buy the car that impresses strangers. They stay in relationships they've already outgrown. They choose careers they secretly hate because they fear what people might think. Imagine sacrificing your entire life to maintain an image inside someone else's mind. An image they'll probably forget tomorrow. The happiest people are rarely the most admired. They're usually the most authentic. They've stopped performing, stopped pretending, stopped chasing approval, because there comes a beautiful freedom when you realize Not everyone has to understand you. Not everyone has to like you. Not everyone has to approve of your life. Your peace is worth more than public approval. Number 3, gratitude changes what your mind can see. Imagine walking into a beautiful garden and spending the entire day looking only for dead leaves. That is how many people live. Their minds have become trained to notice what is missing, what is unfair, what they don't have, who disappointed them, what went wrong. Eventually, the brain becomes so skilled at finding problems that it overlooks the miracles. The friend who stayed, the body that still carries you, the meal on your table, the sunrise you almost ignored, the laugh you almost forgot. Gratitude does not deny pain. It simply refuses to let pain become the entire story. Every day your mind is asking one question: what should I focus on? And whatever you repeatedly focus on becomes your reality. A grateful mind is not blind, it is balanced. It acknowledges what hurts without forgetting what remains beautiful. That is one of the greatest skills a human being can develop. Happiness is not luck. Happiness is architecture. It is built one decision at a time. Most unhappy people don't have terrible lives. They have terrible habits of thinking. They rehearse fear, comparison, regret, resentment until those thoughts become their personality. But the beautiful thing about the human mind is that it can be trained. Number 4, stop comparing your life to everyone else's. Comparison is one of the fastest ways to destroy joy, because no matter how beautiful your life becomes, there will always be someone who appears to have more money, more beauty, more followers, more success, more opportunities. Social media has convinced us that everyone else is living an extraordinary life. But remember, you are comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. You see their victories, not their anxiety, their holidays, not their loneliness, their smiles, not their sleepless nights. The happiest people rarely spend their time looking sideways. They are too busy building their own lives. Your only competition should be the person you were yesterday, because every minute spent envying someone else's journey is a minute you could have spent improving yours. Number 5, learn to let go of what you cannot control. One of the greatest sources of human suffering is trying to control the uncontrollable. You try to control what people think of you. You try to control how quickly life unfolds. You try to control whether people stay, whether they love you, whether they understand you. But life has never promised certainty. It has only promised change. Imagine trying to stop the ocean with your hands. You cannot, and you will get exhausted. Not because the ocean is cruel, but because it was never yours to control. Peace begins the moment you separate your life into 2 lists: what I can change and what I cannot. Pour all your energy into the first and release the second. Because worrying has never changed the future. It has never changed the present. It has never changed the past. It has only stolen today. Number 6, invest in people who give you peace. Your happiness is deeply connected to the people you allow into your life. Some people leave you feeling lighter. Others leave you emotionally exhausted. Pay attention to that feeling. Your nervous system often recognizes what your heart is still trying to justify. Some friendships have expired. Some relationships have become emotional prisons. Some conversations always end with you feeling smaller. You cannot build a peaceful life while surrounding yourself with constant chaos. Choose people who celebrate your growth, who tell you the truth, who inspire you to become better, who respect your boundaries, because happiness is contagious and so is misery. Choose carefully which one you spend your life around. Number 7, give your life a purpose bigger than yourself. Pleasure can make you feel good for a moment. Purpose gives you a reason to wake up. There is a difference. A person without purpose is easily defeated by inconvenience, but a person who knows why they are here can endure remarkable hardship. Ask yourself, who benefits because I exist? Whose life is better because I showed up? What problem am I helping to solve? Because the happiest people are rarely obsessed with themselves. They are absorbed in contribution, in creating, in serving, in building, in loving. Purpose pulls you out of yourself, and often that is exactly where happiness has been waiting. When you realize that happiness was never hiding from you, you were simply looking in the wrong places. You searched for it in people, in achievements, in money, in recognition, in the approval of strangers, only to discover that none of those things could permanently fill what only an intentional life can satisfy. That is when your road to freedom and happiness begins. Number 8, accept that suffering is part of life. One of the greatest lies we believe is that happy people don't suffer. They do. They lose people, they fail, they get rejected, they experience heartbreak, they face uncertainty. The difference is not the absence of pain, it is their relationship with it. They stop asking, why is this happening to me? And they begin asking, what is this trying to teach me? Every difficult season contains an invitation to become wiser, more patient, more compassionate, more resilient. Pain is unavoidable, but unnecessary suffering often begins when we refuse to accept that life contains both joy and sorrow. The happiest people are not those who escaped storms. They are the ones who learned how to dance in the rain. Number 9, forgive more than you resent. Resentment is heavy. It follows you into new relationships, into new opportunities, into quiet moments when no one else is around. Many people believe they're punishing the person who hurts them, but resentment rarely hurts the other person. It just hurts the one carrying it. Every time you replay an old betrayal, your body experiences it again. Your nervous system doesn't know that it happened years ago. It only knows you're reliving it today, and it feels it again like it happened today. Forgiveness isn't saying what you did was acceptable. It is saying, I refuse to let what you did control the rest of my life. Some people owe you an apology. They may never give it. Don't postpone your happiness waiting for someone else to change. Set yourself free. Not because they deserve your forgiveness, but because you deserve your peace. Number 10, realize that today is your life. Say that with me. Today is my life. The saddest mistake we make is believing that life is somewhere ahead of us. One day when the children grow up, one day when work becomes easier, one day when there's more money, one day when everything is finally perfect. But that day never arrives, because life has never existed in the future. It has only ever existed here, in this breath, this conversation with you, this sunrise, this meal, this ordinary Tuesday you almost rushed through. One day you will look back at the life you're living now and realize these were the good old days. Don't wait until they're memories to appreciate them. Live them while they're happening, because happiness is not hidden inside tomorrow. It has been quietly waiting inside today all along. A happy life is not a perfect life. It is not a painless life. It is not a life where everything goes according to plan. It is a life where you learn to protect your peace without giving up your ambition, to love deeply without losing yourself, to dream boldly without postponing joy, to accept what you cannot control while taking full responsibility for what you can. The happiest people are not the luckiest. They are the most intentional. They choose gratitude over entitlement, presence over distraction, growth over comfort, peace over approval, purpose over pleasure alone. And slowly, those small choices become an extraordinary life, because happiness is not one big decision or event. Happiness is thousands of small decisions made deliberately every single day. So don't spend your life waiting to become happy. Become the person who creates happiness wherever they go. Because in the end, your greatest achievement will not be what you owned or what you accomplished. It will be the quality of the life you experienced while you were here. It has been my pleasure as always to sit with you. This has been the Human Mirror. Look closely, you were never invisible. I'll see you in the next reflection.